peace, love, and life, fam. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. I hope that you all are doing all right, feeling amazing, and in good spirits. A lot of you guys could be going through a major transformation in regards to your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs during this time. You could be going through like a spiritual awakening, a spiritual ascension. There's something about your spiritual beliefs that's shifting, and this could be causing you to feel like you losing your mind, you're going crazy. You're not losing your mind, you're not going crazy. Well, you might be. You might be, but in a good way. But this is all it to get you to go in a direction that the universe wants you to go into. God, spirit, ancestors, the universe, whatever you resonate with. This is all happening and triggering you to go towards your spiritual purpose, your spiritual path, and destiny. We all have a purpose, a path, a destiny. Doesn't matter what you do, but you may be incorporating spirituality into what you're doing or into your work. Even if you're, like, let's just say a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or a teacher, there could be a shift in how you practice your work. You may be incorporating more spiritual beliefs in that. But any which ways, you definitely could be going through a major shift in transformation in regards to how you see or how you practice your spiritual beliefs and your spiritual practices. So for example, let's just say you grew up Christian. You could be you could be triggered to go towards ATR, i.e., Ifa, Isheshe, Vudan, Hoodoo, Santeria, Lukaman, I don't want to say the wrong thing, etc., etc., etc. You could be, somebody that could be, you know, diving into that, researching that, looking into that, or you could have like a sudden urge or trigger to want to go more away from what you traditionally and normally practice, and more towards something else that you're not normally used to practicing. And this could be scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're somebody that grew up Christian and you've been, looking into, ATR, it's just something about the unknown that's really scary and that's really triggering. But this is your guides, your ancestors, that's triggering something in your DNA, that's awakening you so that you can go towards your true path, your true purpose. Because what you've been doing in the past, it has not been serving you. Well, I'm not going to say it hasn't been serving you, but it's no longer serving you, because we have a lot of Plutonian energy here. And anytime Pluto, and you can have like a major Pluto transit to your ninth house. The ninth house is the house of our spiritual beliefs, our teachers, our spirituality, travels, foreign travels, faraway places, etc., etc., etc. Jupiter is also our planet of spirituality. Yes, Jupiter is our greater benefic. It is the planet of luck and abundance. It also is the planet of expansion. So anything that Jupiter touches, it expands it. And then with Pluto in the mix, Pluto could be triggering your spiritual awakening, your spiritual ascension. And this can be, something something like whatever you was doing in the past, it's no longer serving you, and it's forcing you to change what you've been doing, change the way you think, change the way you feel, maybe the way you viewed your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs. Was it was there was a lot of hidden secrets about it that you didn't know, or you was taught that this was wrong or this was bad, or etc., etc., etc. So now you're being triggered to do more research and to dig deeper into what it is, so like I said, another example, you might, be, somebody who was a Christian your whole life, and now you're looking into ATR, and you probably was told that, this is bad, or this is this, or this is that, whatever ideology you was taught about other, spiritual religious modalities. You're taking the time to go down your own rabbit hole and do your own research as to what it is and what it means, and if this is something for you and why you're feeling like this. So this could be really, really a lonely, dark road, but you're supported. You're definitely supported during this time. You could also have a major transit going on with your ninth house. Like you could have Pluto transit in your ninth house. You could have Pluto sextile your ninth house. You could even have Jupiter over your ninth house, or sextile your ninth house, or something like that. But you're definitely going towards a major shift, a major transformation when it comes to your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs. You also, if you're feeling like this, if this energy is really really heavy, because this has happened really really suddenly, really really really, like there's like really swift and unexpected changes that's happening. You might have to, you might be going into like a newbie. You might have to start all over again. That's what I'm trying to say. You may have to start all over again, because that foundation that was that your spiritual beliefs was built on was false. And so now you're having to relearn everything that you thought all over again. You could be going through a spiritual awakening, a spiritual ascension. So if you are going through that, you need to really, really make sure you're remaining balanced. You need to make sure you're grounding yourself, you're touching grass, because when you're learning all of this, when you're getting all of these heavy downloads, and you're learning all of this new information about your newfound spirituality, your newfound spiritual beliefs, it can be extremely overwhelming. So it's important to disconnect from time to time and touch grass, go out in nature, do something that you love. Touch grass means just do something that you love. You're still human. Make sure you're connecting to your body. Do something that you love. Go out in nature, do something outdoors, going outside, go in the sun. Um, do some gardening, do some exercising, ride a bike, go to a festival, just whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, that makes you happy, that makes you feel good, and that makes you feel connected to your body. Do that. That's very important right now, because you don't want to become too out of touch and too disconnected from reality, because this ascension that you're going through is very very it's very deep and it's very intense. Some of y'all could even be gaining some new spiritual gifts during this time. You can be, not only can you be gaining some new spiritual gifts during this time, if you already have spiritual gifts, those spiritual gifts can be heightened and enhanced during this time. So even with that, of course, acknowledge them, but at the same time, make sure you're remaining balanced and you're remaining grounded, so you won't go into spiritual psychosis. And now this is very, very, very specific. Some of you guys are going towards being initiated into ATR. And for some of y'all, that might mean that you might have to go away to a foreign land to be initiated, wherever that might be, Haiti, the continent. Some of y'all are literally going to have to leave your homeland and go away to get initiated, or to, maybe even if you're not being called to be initiated, maybe you're being called to go to like some type of spiritual retreat to gain more wisdom and more knowledge, more spiritual wisdom, more spiritual knowledge, if that makes sense. So, be kind to yourself right now. You're not going crazy. You're right where the universe wants you to be. So if you was wondering why you haven't been feeling connected to what you're traditionally used to being connected with, if like, what your original traditions isn't resonating with you no more, Don't worry, you're not going crazy. It is just the universe's way of triggering you to go towards your true soul purpose, your true destiny, your true soul path. And it's okay to start all over again. It's okay to learn new information. I know it's hard. I know it's heavy. I know it's scary. But it's okay to start all over again. I know you feel lost. I know you feel like, this is heavy for you. But again, you're going, it's just make sure anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, go do something to ground yourself. Go do something to ground yourself because you are learning something new. You could be reading a book that could be triggering your spiritual awakening. You could be taking classes that could be, triggering your spiritual awakening. Like I say, some of you guys could be going from one religious tradition to another one, i.e., ATR. You could be learning about what it means to be initiated into ATR because that's your soul purpose. That's your soul calling. Don't ignore it. That's what the ancestors want you to do. Your ancestors is forcing you to go towards where they want you to go. It don't have to be ATR, but you know what your soul is calling you to do. You're just afraid. Don't be afraid. It's okay to accept it. It's okay to embrace it. If you feel like you alone, if you feel like you're in the darkness, that's the perfect place for you to be. Because guess what? Creation starts in the dark. Creation starts in the dark. All right? Remember that. Take that with you. Hold on to that. You are not alone. Call on your guides, God, ancestors to help you through this because you are loved and you are protected. That is all I have for y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know how this resonates. And until next time, ashe, ashe, ashe.